We are meant to call from out of the past stories, strange and weird.
Tales of mystery and terror by radio's masters of the macabre.
Stories of the supernatural, the supernormal, dramatized in fantasy, the mystery, the unknown. We tell you this frankly, so if you wish to avoid the excitement and tension of these imaginary plays, we urge you calmly and sincerely to turn off your radio now.
Welcome back to The Horror. Thanks for joining me once again. We're going to hear from Nightfall this week, a Canadian series that aired over CBC stations from July 1980 to June of 1983. Our story today is their adaptation of Carmilla, which first aired November 20th, 1981.
In the dream, you are falling, lost in the listening distance, as dark locks in. Nightfall. Good evening. Tonight's play is based on an all-time horror classic by Sheridan Le Fanu, adapted especially for the series by Graham Pomeroy and John Douglas. But right now, the name to remember is Carmilla.
Children love castles and fill their dreams with them. I thought I was the luckiest girl in the world because I lived in one. And then when I grew up, the dream stretched out its arms to take me with it into the nightmare dark. We could never have afforded a real castle back at home in England, but in the wilds of the Black Forest, my father's income was ample. If one didn't mind the shadows.
So long as you're not frightened by rumors of trolls and coaches drawn by headless horses, Margaret, Germany should be quite pleasant.
And so it was for years, as I remember. We were much alone, my widowed father, myself, the governess and a few servants, in a wasteland of black firs stretching to the horizon. The castle and the long white road unrolling before it, from one dark mouth of the forest to another, were never more magical one night. That night when the moon should have hidden her face.
Margaret! Margaret! Where are you, ma petite?
Here, madame, bathing in the moonlight.
Indeed. Indeed, ma chère. It is the land of fairy tonight. But you must not stay too long. When the moon shines like this, like silver, all on fire, it is very dangerous.
Madame, your petite enfant is a grown woman now. No more stories to frighten children. Come, sit here by me. It's still bright as daylight.
I had a cousin once. He was a sailor. Like a fool, he fell asleep on deck in such a moon as this. And when he woke, an old woman was clawing at his face.
Oh, madame, you should have been German. You see spirits.
I am German, on my mother's side.
One would never have known it.
You make fun of me. But I tell you, look at the castle windows.
They flash and sparkle in the light.
It is as though hands not seen had lighted up the rooms to receive guests from the other world.
Still trying to frighten my daughter, Madame Peridon. One would think in 20 years you might have given up. She does not know the meaning of fear.
Oh, Papa, Madame has been trying to convince me that the moon is a bad angel.
There are certainly some of them about, I'm afraid. I have some rather sad news for you, Margaret. Would you excuse us, madame?
But of course, monsieur. I will...
Yes, madame?
Did you not hear a sound?
Nothing but the night. Margaret?
No.
Perhaps you are right, ma chère. I grow old.
So much beauty all around, Papa, and such a long face.
I've had a long letter. You remember me speaking of my old friend, General Spielsdorf?
How could I forget? You've promised that he'll bring his daughter Elizabeth to visit us just as soon as she's well enough to travel. Oh, if you knew how I long to meet someone my own age.
I know. I'm afraid now you will have to wait.
But his daughter has recovered.
His daughter is dead.
Papa.
You had better see the General's letter. I'm afraid he is suffering greatly. The letter appears to have been written by a man nearly half crazed.
My dear Lauriston, during the last days of Elizabeth's illness, I could not write to you. And before then, I had no idea of her danger.
I had no idea of her danger. I have lost her, and now learn all. Too late. The fiend who betrayed our infatuated hospitality has done it all. I swear before Almighty God, I will devote my remaining days to tracking and extinguishing a monster. Sometime in the autumn, or earlier if I live, my hunt may bring me to your area. I will then tell you all. I dare not put on paper now. Farewell. Pray for me, dear friend. Pray for me.
Pray for me. Oh, Papa, the poor man.
What's that? Traveler? So late?
Monsieur, Margaret, a carriage is coming through the woods on the North Road.
And whipped on by a madman. Do you hear how fast he drives?
But they will never...
He'll never take the curve by the great oak. Wolfgang! Manfred, come here, quickly! Snell!
Here they are! Oh, Papa! They're going to... Yes.
Lunatic! Wolfgang! Manfred! See if they're hurt! See if there's anything you can do for them!
I thank you, gentlemen. Thank you all, but there is no serious damage. You there help my daughter, and be gentle as you go. Mind them.
From the overturned carriage stepped, unharmed, a cold, imperious woman, all in black, commanding the frightened servants as they brought out the most beautiful young girl, about my age, as pale as marble, who at first sight appeared to be...
Oh, la belle pauvre petite! She's dead! The young lady is dead!
For God's sakes, Madame Peridon, control yourself. Bring the young lady here, Manfred. As I thought. Her pulse still beats. She has only fainted.
Oh, Lord, we are lost.
My lady, your daughter is only suffering from shock. A night's rest, one night only, and you may ride on.
Alas, sir, that is exactly what I cannot do. I am on a journey of life and death in which to lose an hour is to lose all. I must go on instantly. My poor child cannot come with me now. God forgive me. I must leave her in the closest village. Have pity on a poor mother. Tell me how far to the nearest inn?
Oh, Papa, please ask her to stay with us. She's so pretty and so alone. I do so want a friend. Please.
Madame, would you do us the honor of leaving the young lady here as our guest until your return? She would be a welcome friend to my daughter, Margaret, and my servants would answer her every wish.
Sir, I cannot.
Oh, please.
You see, we insist.
Very well. Remember, it is at your own invitation.
But of course.
I shall return in 1 month. In the meantime, my daughter will be silent as to who we are, where we are from, and where we are going. Thank you again. Goodbye.
My lady,
Yes?
will you not say farewell to your daughter?
Oh, yes. When she wakens, by all means tell her I kissed her. Farewell.
Au revoir.
Adieu.
Her servants had righted the carriage with astonishing speed, and the lady in black stepped swiftly into it. A moment, and carriage, horses, passenger and all had been swallowed up into the dark maw of the forest. At the very moment when the last sound of wheels died away among the trees, the young lady opened her eyes.
My mother. Where is she?
My dear young lady, your mother had no choice but to resume her journey immediately. You are to be our guest here for a little while. Our name is Lauriston.
I am called Carmilla.
May I present my daughter, Margaret?
How do you do? Carmilla? You aren't hurt.
Oh, no. I think I was hurt once, but that was ever so long ago. How beautiful you are. I was saying to your father only yesterday, ma chère, what a piece of luck. Is she not beautiful, this Carmilla? Here, scarcely a month, and already she loves you as much as we do. No, I swear she loves you more.
She is very beautiful. Her affection is flattering, but...
You are too cold, you English. To see her stroke your hand and brush your fine hair by the hour.
I did so want a friend. Now I seem to have one indeed. But she is so different from anyone I have ever known.
Ah, these noble families. You have only to look at her to know she is of old blood. Though she will not say. They are often very odd. I remember once in France...
She appears to eat or drink almost nothing.
Pure delicatesse, Margaret. A refinement natural to her rank.
When we take even the shortest walk, she's exhausted almost at once. I sometimes think she may be ill.
Because she does not strut about like a peasant. You must read the modern authors. As for living, our servants can do that for us.
A funeral? Here, so far from anywhere?
It is the forest ranger's daughter. You know they found her dead this morning.
Oh, I heard.
Ah, la pauvre. I will go and say a prayer for her. Will you come?
No, madame. I promised to meet Carmilla here.
I will pray for both of us then. Do not stay too long. It will be dark soon.
What is that hideous music?
Carmilla, those poor people are weeping, and you talk as though we were at a concert.
Don't you hear how discordant it is? How it grates the ears?
On the contrary, I think it is very moving. Our religion...
How can you tell that your religion and mine are the same? Your forms wound me, and I hate funerals. What a fuss. Why, you must die. Everyone must die. And all are happier when they do.
I think she would have been happier to live.
She? Oh, I don't trouble my head about peasants. I don't even know who she is.
She's that poor girl who thought she saw a ghost a week ago. They say she has been dying ever since.
Tell me nothing about ghosts.
I shan't sleep tonight if you do.
I hope there is no epidemic coming. The swineherd's young wife died only a week ago, and she imagined that something took her by the throat. The doctor says that so much delirium surely means fever.
The swineherd's wife. Well, her funeral is over, I hope, and her hymn sung, and our ears shan't be tortured for her, like this.
Carmilla! Are you ill? Your face.
Close. Come close to me. Hold my hand. Tight. Tighter.
Oh, you are crushing my hand.
Oh. I am sorry. It is passing away. See what comes of strangling people with hymns?
Carmilla, I don't understand. Sometimes you are the gentlest friend I could ever imagine, and sometimes...
Dearest, think me not cruel. I obey the irresistible law of my strength and weakness. If your dear heart is wounded, my wild heart bleeds with yours.
You have not wounded me, dear Carmilla.
I fear I have. But you see, I cannot help it. As I draw near to you, you in turn will draw near to others and learn the rapture of that cruelty, which yet is love.
I don't know you. I don't know myself when you look so and talk so. What do you mean by all this?
My darling, seek to know no more of me or mine.
Please.
Trust me. Trust me with all your loving spirit.
That night I had what I imagined was a dream. I cannot call it a nightmare, for I was quite conscious of being asleep. I thought I saw, the room and its furniture just as I had seen them last, except that it was very dark. And then I saw something moving round the foot of the bed, a figure whose face and form I could not see, save only 2 dull points of red, like the embers of a fire as it dies. It approached slowly, ever closer. In the last moment before it reached me, I seemed to hear a voice coming not from my visitor, but from far, far away, sweetly and tenderly, but with terrible urgency. It whispered,
"Your mother warns you to be aware of the assassin."
But the glowing coals were already inches from my face, and suddenly I felt a stinging pain, as if 2 large needles darted an inch or 2 apart, deep into my breast. I tried to scream, but found I could not breathe.
Accompanied by an increasing languor.
exhaustion, Doctor.
She complains more and more of suffocation. And her color.
I can see for myself, Herr Lauriston. And this sensation of needles you mentioned, Fräulein. Where exactly?
Here, Doctor. Over the heart.
You're rather young for angina, surely. Lieber Jesu.
What is it?
The scars. 2 tiny white scars.
How could she suffer so from those? They could be no more than insect bites.
Herr Lauriston, do you know the stories, myths, you would say, tales that they tell here in our Black Forest?
Tales of disease?
Of those who bring it. Fräulein, after those needles, as you call them, is there any other sensation?
It is a little like bathing.
I do not understand.
It's like, you know the pleasant cold thrill you feel when you swim upstream against the current of the river? And in the heart of that cold, warm lips are kissing me.
Yes?
I sometimes wish I never had to wake up.
Fräulein, you must not feel so. You must resist. To love your destroyer is to be lost.
My destroyer?
Dr. Wallman, what are you saying?
I do not know how you will believe me, but you must. Your daughter is...
Lauriston! Lauriston!
My God, that's...
Forgive my haste, old friend, but I have no time for niceties. I have ridden through the night, lest she escape me. You're not alone.
Spielsdorf, we did not expect you so suddenly.
I have not one moment to lose.
May I present Dr. Wallman, General Spielsdorf?
General.
Herr Doctor?
My daughter, Margaret.
Welcome, sir.
My dear Fräulein. My child, you are ill.
Well enough to be thankful you are here at last, General.
Oh,
what's wrong?
She is so like my Elizabeth, even to her pallor. God send her a better deliverance.
We were all so grieved to hear...
I will grieve for my daughter, Fräulein. Oh, I will grieve when I have first had vengeance on the devil who killed her.
Killed her?
As surely as a dagger to the heart. Listen, and you will hear how my blindness, my folly, brought my darling to the grave. You too, Doctor, hear me. Hear how little your science knows of things that walk the night.
I am listening.
So, early this summer, my dear Elizabeth and I attended a magnificent celebration at a neighbor's castle. A masked ball. Oh, masked indeed. Oh, yes, it was. When the fireworks were ended and the dancing began, I realized that a young lady and her chaperone, masked and richly dressed, had been following my daughter with extraordinary interest. Suddenly, the older woman was beside me.
General Spielsdorf, I believe.
You have the advantage of me, madame.
Do you not know who I am?
If madame would remove her mask...
No, I must not. Though we are older and better friends than perhaps you suspect, Friedrich.
Madame, you embarrass me. If you would but say...
Soon, Friedrich, soon you will know everything, but for a brief time I must implore your aid as an old friend, whose honor will ask no more.
Why, how may I... I know not what to say, madame.
I have this moment received news that reached me like a thunderbolt. I must leave at once on a journey of life and death, in which to lose an hour is to lose all. My poor ward, there, cannot come with me. She is still delicate from an accident. I plead with you. I beg you, take my poor Mircalla under your protection. I know she will be safe for the brief month I shall be absent. Oh, consent and save a desperate woman.
Madame, with the best will in the world, how can I do not know your ward at all.
She is Mircalla, Countess of Karnstein, a name to honor any house. Oh, look. Friedrich, see how she and your daughter are friends already. Look, Mircalla takes her hand, and your daughter looks radiant.
I turned to look, and it was true. My daughter was entranced by her new companion. I turned back, and amid the swirling dancers, my masked interrogator was gone. The next moment, my darling daughter came to me, innocent as a fawn, pleading with me to invite Mircalla home. I weakened. I did.
Karnstein. There is a ruined chapel of the Karnsteins here in the forest. But the last member of the family died 200 years ago.
No, she was only buried.
Spiersdorf, what are you saying?
Herr Lauriston, I think he is saying what I was trying to tell you just now. You claim, General, that your daughter was murdered?
Within 3 weeks, my Elizabeth sank and died. Every morning she was paler, weaker, and more bloodless. She suffocated, slowly, and whispered of terrible dreams. Mircalla was always by her side, so loving.
And on her breast, or perhaps her throat, 2 tiny scars like the scratches of a pin?
You? No. You believe?
Your friends, General. Your friends believe now, too. Don't you, Herr Lauriston?
Mircalla.
Carmilla. General, we have a house guest named Carmilla. She was left behind with us by an unknown lady on a desperate journey. General! Look at my daughter.
God in heaven. Mark. She is here. The devil I hunt is here. Where? Show me. Where is she?
At this hour she keeps to her room. Carmilla rises late.
General, do you have what we will need?
It is with me always, since...
Frederick, I will go with you.
No, David, no. I will go alone.
But
It must be my hand, David. Your daughter is still alive.
Perhaps Carmilla saw the general arrive. Perhaps some instinct of her kind had warned her. But General Spielsdorf found an empty room, cold as though it had never been inhabited. Of course, it never really had. On moonlit nights, I walk where we walked together.
Margaret. Margaret.
God forgive me. I miss her. And I almost smile in my mirror to see that the scars do not heal.
That's it for the horror this week. I hope you enjoyed today's show. You can find more from Nightfall, the horror, all the other podcasts, and thousands of other old-time radio episodes at relicradio.com. If you'd like to help support this and all of the shows, help keep them coming every week for free and advertising free, give that donate button a click or visit donate.relicradio.com. Thank you, as always, for your support, and thanks for joining me today. I'll be back next Saturday with another episode of The Horror.
Strange Tales.
RelicRadio.com presents tales of the strange and bizarre, the weird and the wicked. Stories not necessarily of the supernatural, but of the unnatural. Join us now for Strange Tales, featuring radio drama at its most mysterious and unusual. This is Strange Tales. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me this Sunday. We're going to hear a series from South Africa this week titled The Creaking Door, aired in the 1960s. The surviving episodes come from the 1964 to 1965 State Express Cigarettes sponsored run. Our story aired October 5th, 1964. It's titled The Man in the Lift. Here's The Creaking Door.
About this world of ours, and ever in search of the finest of its kind, we bring you the tops in Spine Chillers. The Creaking Door. The manufacturers of State Express 3-5 Silver King cigarettes take pleasure in presenting The Creaking Door. Good evening, friends of The Creaking Door. The Creaking Door is open. Carmilla. Do you know what claustrophobia is? That's the feeling you get when everything seems to be pressing in on you. People who suffer from claustrophobia should take care not to get themselves trapped in confined spaces. You have to be careful. You could go right out of your skull. class. Get the taste of new smooth State Express 3.5s today. We promise you, it's the smoothest cigarette you can get. It's a blend that has been perfected after years of constant research by our master blenders. And the recent development of an entirely new process which gives you an even smoother 3.5 smoke. We promise you, it's the smoothest cigarette you can get. Smooth in world class. Get the taste of new, smooth State Express 3.5s today. Rupert Hawkins suffered from claustrophobia. So much so that he wouldn't even take the lift to and from his office on the 8th floor. Couldn't stand lifts, Rupert. Never used them. Until that night when he worked late and realized that if he didn't hurry, he was going to be very overdue at his appointment with his beautiful young wife. She was young and beautiful, and Rupert was 52, and possessed of a very vivid imagination. Good heavens, all that time? 6:30. I'm going to be down a bit lower. Perhaps she isn't home yet. Must have left. That's unusual. I'm going to rush. He doesn't like to be kept waiting. As I came out of my office door, the lift opened. I hesitated for a moment. I never use lifts. I can't stand that feeling of being trapped, cut out. I can't stand it. I was late. I glanced briefly at the stairs. It took me a good 10 minutes to walk down, and I was late already. If it had been any other woman, but Laura, well, we hadn't been married very long. I was late as it was. I got into the lift. As the doors closed, I experienced that sickening, trapped feeling which I knew so well. I put it down. I swallowed a couple of times. And then I pressed the button. The lift started to move down. Sweat started into the palm of my hand. I know that I was licking my lips nervously, and I watched the little light flicker on and off, ticking off the floors as the lift descended. 7, 6, 5, 4. I waited for the 3 to light up, but it didn't. And then I was suddenly aware that the familiar humming sound had stopped. The lift was stuck between floors. At first, I couldn't believe it. I kept telling myself that it was just some small electrical fault causing the lights not to work. In a minute, the G would light up and I'd be at ground level. But it didn't. There wasn't a sound all around me. There was a silence like a tomb. A tomb. My tomb. I knew then something terrible was going to happen to me. I knew I wouldn't step out of that lift alive. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? I'm stuck in the lift. Help me! Please help me! I'm alone. I'm alone here. There won't be anybody here till morning. 12 hours. I can't stay here for 12 hours. I'll go there. Help me! Help me! For heaven's sake, somebody! Help me! Please help me! But nobody heard. Nobody came. I found myself sitting in a sweating, quivering heap in the corner of the lift. I can't. I'll die. I'll die. The button. The alarm button. Yes, there's a button. I must have a button to press. It rings a bell in the caretaker's flat. That's right. All I have to do is to press the button. Now, here we are. Alarm button. I forced myself to stand shaking like a jelly and waiting for somebody to answer. I don't know if I expected somebody to answer immediately, but they didn't. Nothing happened. Nobody had heard me. I was alone in the lift, in the empty building. There must be trapped with someone. There must be a way to get out of this thing. Must be in the roof. I can't reach. There must be a trap door there, but how do I get up? There's nothing to stand on. I can't stand it. I can't stand it any longer. It's driving me out of my mind. I sank back on the floor of the lift again. I was bathed in perspiration. The sweat ran down into my eyes. It was terrifying. And that's when I started to hear things. My mind must have given up the unequal struggle. It must have cracked. I started to hear things.
Hurry up, darling. We're going to be awfully late.
Laura. It's Laura.
Of course it's me, darling. Who else did you expect in your mind? I am in your mind, aren't you?
I think about you all the time, Laura. You know that. I love you.
Well, hurry up. I'm waiting for you. I've been here since 6:15.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you can see I'm stuck in the lift. I'll do something, Laura. Get help.
How can I? I'm here with you, aren't I?
What?
In your mind. Inside your head. I'm here. I can't get help.
I'm imagining things. I must be imagining things. How can I hear her voice?
Well, if you're not coming, I'll go and meet Arthur. He's always pleased to see me. He wouldn't keep me waiting.
But it's not my fault. I didn't mean to keep you waiting. I worked late, and then the lift stuck.
Hello, Arthur, darling.
Listen.
Laura, you're looking beautiful.
I'm glad you think so. My husband doesn't seem to know.
I do, Laura. I do notice.
Well, there's no fool like an old fool. And he is old, isn't he?
Oh?
Much too old for you.
Age doesn't matter.
I should never have married him. But I did, and now I'm trapped, just like he is, in that lift.
Is he trapped in a lift?
Yes.
Hello, Rupert, old boy. Considerate of you to keep out of the way while I make love to your wife.
Oh, Arthur, darling.
Stop it. What are you doing? Stop it. Leave her alone. She's my wife. She loves me. My mind was going. I could feel it falling apart piece by piece. I could hear Laura laughing. Sometimes they spoke to me, but most of the time they ignored me. They were making love. They were kissing. And it was all happening inside my head. Inside the lift. All at once it was as if the lift was my head. I was inside my own head. That's a terrible place to be, inside your own head. Inside your own lift. Life in a lift. Life in a head.
So you see, Arthur, if we keep him in the lift long enough, he'll die. He can't stand to be cooped up, you know. He'll die.
Who believes that he dies?
I wasn't
right.
I wouldn't.
But the police will. They're stupid.
I won't die. Do you hear? You can't kill me as easily as that. I'm frightened, but I won't die.
Just go on, Dusty. How on earth did you manage to stay married to him for so long?
It wasn't really so long. It just seemed that way. It was only 6 long, weary months.
Well, now, we're just about rid of him. There's nothing to stop him. He'll die. Then there'll be nothing to stop us from getting married.
Yes. And we'll have all his money. You and I are just the two of us.
You won't get away with this. You can't kill me. I'm not frightened of this anymore. I'll see you two in jail for attempted murder. You did it, you two. I'll see you in jail for it.
Don't be silly. We can't go inside jail because we're inside your head.
My head?
And we're here to stay as long as you live, which won't be very long.
No, it won't be long at all. Because any moment now, you just drop dead of fright.
I won't. And I didn't drop dead of fright. Suddenly the look meant nothing to me. I wasn't frightened any longer. I was suddenly strong and powerful. Too powerful and clever for those two. Laura and Arthur. I'd show them. I won't be the one to drop dead of fright. It'll be you who drop dead, Laura. I'll kill you.
I'm not here. Look around you.
Huh?
I'm not here. I'm in your silly head. If I don't make sense, that means that you're going mad because you're putting the words into my mouth. You're listening me.
That won't work, Laura. I know now. I've always been frightened, Nick. I knew that I was frightened, but I never knew why. But now I know. I knew subconsciously. I knew that something strange was going to happen to me one day in the lift. And it has. Oh, I'm not scared anymore. I'm not frightened. Because I know that being shut in this lift has done something to me. It's elevated me. It's like a saint, a monk in his little cell. You come nearer to the mysterious spiritual things. I've been given the power to understand what you and Arthur have been doing to me all these years. You and Arthur, I know. You're trying to drive me mad, but you won't succeed. I'll kill you both!
News in world class. Get the taste of new smooth State Express 3.5s today. We promise you, it's the smoothest cigarette you can get. It's a blend that has been perfected after years of constant research by our master blenders. And the recent development of an entirely new process which gives you an even smoother 3.5 smoke. We promise you, it's the smoothest cigarette you can get. Smooth in world class. Get the taste of new, smooth State Express 3.5s today.
That's one for the book, isn't it? Poor Rupert, trapped in a lift with no one there. And he's going to kill them both. Both the nobodies who are only in his mind, I mean. Fascinating, isn't it? I can't wait to find out who is going to kill who.
I'm going to kill you! Do you hear? Do you hear?
I don't. I scared them away. They're cowards, both of them. They can't stand up to a determined man. Laura, Arthur, they're gone, they're gone. this lift. In this building. I don't know what it is.
Laura? Laura? Arthur? Where are you? Please come back. Please come back.
We're not coming back. We're going dancing.
I wonder...
Arthur. Oh, Arthur. It's heaven to be here. Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
No.
Oh, darling.
Darling, how long have we got to wait?
Not long. I've a plan to get rid of him. One night at the office, I'll keep him working late. He'll have a date with you. You'll be in a hurry. He's always in a hurry to get to you. He'll take the lift for once. And I'll be there. I'll be in the office when he leaves. It will be easy to slip up to the roof and throw the breaker. Stop the lift between floors. That's all we have to do. You know what he's like.
What a marvelous idea, darling. He wouldn't be able to stand it. He'd go quite out of his mind. If the shock doesn't kill him altogether. And even if it doesn't kill him, it doesn't matter very much. A mad husband is in many ways better than a dead husband, isn't it?
I can hear you. You two, I can hear. You won't get away with it, you won't.
I've got noises in my head, Arthur.
So have I. Like that old fool talking.
It is me. I know everything, you fool. I know everything. I've heard your silly plans. They won't work. I won't get into the lift.
Yes, that was a silly thing to say, wasn't it? You are in the lift.
I was mad. I must be. I was losing all sense of time. I didn't know whether I was alone in the lift or if it was true. Arthur, I never suspected him. Yes, I have. I remembered all the times I'd seen him looking at Laura with that look in his eyes. They had been lovers for a long time, since long before we got married, those two had been making a fool of me. Well, I'd get my own back. Suddenly, I knew it was true. I didn't know if I'd imagined what I'd heard. I didn't know what had happened, but I knew it was true. I knew that Arthur and Laura were lovers. And I knew that if ever I got out of that lift, I'd kill them both. If only I could have known what was really happening then. If only I could have known that Laura had got tired of waiting for me and had walked towards the office block. She'd met Arthur on the way.
Arthur!
Oh, hello, Laura.
Have you seen Rupert? He was supposed to meet me half an hour ago.
Well, he was still there when I left the office. I thought he was going to work late.
Well, he must have forgotten that he was supposed to meet me. He's not at the office, so I phoned. There was no answer.
Honey, what could have happened to him?
The lift. Perhaps he got stuck in the lift.
But he never takes the lift, does he? If you're right, if that has happened, he'll go out of his mind.
Oh, quick, Arthur, let's hurry. I couldn't stand it if anything happened to us.
If only I could have known. But I didn't know. I had no idea what was really happening. Inside that lift, everything had become unreal. I was hearing, imagining all sorts of things. Yes, it must be stuck between these first and fourth floors. It's not here, you see.
What could it be?
I don't know, but if you like, I'll go up to the roof and have a look. Perhaps it's just a fuse or something.
All right. You do that. I'll wait here on the ground floor in case the lift does start again. I'll wait for it. Oh, how terrible. Poor Rupert.
You're very fond of him, aren't you?
I love him, Arthur. I don't think I want to go on living if anything happened to him.
But I didn't know. I didn't know anything of what was really going on. I was locked in my own little world. My own little world of madness. Inside the nest. Inside the nest. Inside my head. All around me was madness and horror and shivering unreality. She's back. But she's outside this time. She's outside. And she and
Fancy men of hers have come to laugh. But I'll beat them yet.
I left Laura on the ground floor and went racing up to the caretaker's flat. He was in.
Stuck in the lift? Well, what are you talking about?
Oh, don't just stand there, man. I tell you, the lift is stuck between the third and fourth floors. You've got to get it started again. If you don't, that man will go mad.
Mad? Why?
He's a sufferer from claustrophobia, that's why.
Is it what?
He can't bear to be shut up. It makes him feel ill, very ill. You must do something at once.
Funny. I never heard the alarm bell. I'll have a look right away. There we are. They say the bloke gets ill. Well, will he be all right when the lift gets to the ground floor?
I went cold. Laura would be waiting on the ground floor. I'd seen Rupert once before when he accidentally shut himself in the stationery cupboard. I shuddered at the remembrance of it. He'd been completely mad for a time, and I realized I couldn't possibly get down to the ground floor before the lift did. I prayed.
I prayed. I begged. I pleaded. I huddled on the floor of the lift. I'm a cringing, blubbering, shivering man. I'd known fear. I'd known terror. But this... Oh, no. Help me. Please help me. For the love of pity, help me. It's moving. Start it again. Oh, please, don't let it stop. Don't let it stop. Don't let it stop.
Come to me, Rupert. Arthur and I are waiting.
Yes? We are waiting. Come, Rupert. You swine. You did it to Tori, didn't you? Well, you won't get away. You won't get away with it. You won't. You won't. You little. You did it. You and Arthur.
Darling, my poor darling.
You murderous swine. You and that boyfriend. But you won't live to enjoy it. I'll kill you. And that's what happened. I don't remember anymore. But I killed her. Am I glad? She and they were making fools of me. I know they were. My friends told me. My friends in that empty Get the taste of new smooth State Express 3/5 today. We promise you, it's the smoothest cigarette you can get.
It's a blend that has been perfected after years of constant research by our master blenders. And the recent development of an entirely new process which gives you an even smoother 3-5 smoke. We promise you, it's the smoothest cigarette you can get. Smooth in world class. Get the taste of new, smooth State Express 3-5 today.
This is your host back again. Just a reminder of our rendezvous next week. Where are we going? Through the creaking door, of course.
The manufacturers of State Express 3-5 Filter King cigarettes invite you to listen next Saturday at 9 o'clock when they will again present The Creaking Door.
That's our Strange Tale for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. You can find more from The Creaking Door, Strange Tales, and thousands of other old-time radio episodes at the website, relicradio.com. All available for free thanks to your support. If you'd like to help support this and all of the shows, help keep everything free, give that donate button a push or visit donate.relicradio.com. Your support makes it all happen. Thanks to those who have helped out. Thanks for joining me this week. I'll be back next Sunday with another episode of Relic Radio's Strange Tales.